Hello, Libra, and welcome to my channel. I'm Adriana. I'm a transformational life coach and abundance consultant. I have an intuitive message for you today, channeled directly from my guides. And before I forget, Happy New Year! I'm so excited. This is the first reading of the new year. Before I get started, I want to encourage you to reserve your own personal New Year's reading. This is a special spread I've designed. It's here for another 2 weeks, and it really helps you start your year right. Now, this card is really interesting to me. It's come up before, but I've never really looked at this card. This is Raven News. And actually, fun fact, Raven is Libra in the Native American astrology. So if you are a Libra, you are also a Raven. Okay, there's a multidimensionality to this card, and this card is about receiving information essentially, but we're looking at information coming from multidimensional sources. Now, this can mean so much. Your body, for one thing, that is a multidimensional source, right? Or at least it's a multidimensional processor of information. But what's kind of coming through is don't believe the first thing you hear. Take stock of the first thing you hear and then kind of file it and keep listening. Keep listening. All right. I'm compelled to talk about this. This is actually Odin sitting in the raven's mouth, which is interesting because it's like the raven has this pearl of wisdom, but the pearl of wisdom actually comes from the raven because the ravens were the ones who would communicate with Odin. So it's just about, it's being careful what news you're digesting. Okay, let's get into your tarot cards. I want to see you're reading proper. We have the Fool. And this is an interesting way to start the new year because in a way it's kind of perfect. We're starting with clean slate, not knowing exactly what's in front of us. And, okay, yep, they're telling me to tie it together with this card. There's an innocence to our Fool because the Fool doesn't know what the Fool is getting into. All right. So again, don't believe the first thing you hear. Watch out for gullibility this week, or the tendency to leap to conclusions from the first thing that you hear. Make sure to really sit back and get the whole story, because the leaping to conclusions will have you leaping not onto solid ground. Okay. And then, yeah, I'm just going to stop it there because let's look at what else is coming. All right, Tower is the beneficial energy, and then the Star is the energy that is going to hold you back. This is really interesting because the Fool is headed for the Tower, and the Tower is the revelation, the opening up of information, the discovery of a new truth or a hidden truth that suddenly rocks our foundations. And usually, I don't like to see this card in this position, but I'm actually feeling pretty good about this because this is telling me, because we started with news, words and facts, that something is going to come out that is going to demolish perhaps facts that we thought were true, truths that we thought were true, and they are no longer true. And as we talked about before, this is happening on a multi-dimension. So this may be happening in your life, but it might also be happening in the kind of collective life as well. My guides do want me to clarify the Tower. I wasn't going to, but they would like me to. And they're saying 2 from the bottom. Prince of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so these are stubbornly held beliefs. These may even be beliefs about money or beliefs about what you value. So this is really interesting. So new information or new opportunity comes in, and at first you may want to throw it away because it's maybe not in line with traditionally what you thought you valued. But this Tower says, what if you were to get rid of those values? What if you were to shift those? What if they didn't exist? You know, then what would you think of this situation? Okay. You know, I am very guilty of this as well, and perhaps it's because I'm a Libra rising that this message is kind of hitting me this way, that I will leap to conclusions about things and just completely discount them because I think I can see the end. And a lot of times I can. But I feel like this week I probably shouldn't, because there's more information that needs to come out. There's just more questions that need to be asked. Let's talk about the Star card. Why is the Star card? Okay. Because there's a time for healing, there's a time for assimilation where we put things back together and we just go with the flow. And there's a time for really breaking things apart and tearing them down. So this star is actually talking about feeding the old way of life, or feeding the old beliefs or the old values that are maybe too stuck or too solid. We don't need to do any more of that feeding. We need to head for the breakdown, head for that moment where all of a sudden the expectations are changed, the conclusions are changed, and the new information that comes through changes everything about the way the situation is. It changes everything we thought about the situation. Okay, I want to get 2 more cards for you. 10 of Cups, 5 of Swords. Oy vey. Okay. All right. Part of what's going to come in will give you the whole picture, right? But it will also, even though this may be a bit of a chaotic moment, it will leave you with a sense of wholeness, leave you with a sense of belonging. Your head is going to want to doubt that. Your head's not going to want to believe that this could be a more stable way, this could be a fulfilling way forward. But that's why we had the Tower. I've lost the Tower. Where'd the Tower go? Shouldn't lose the Tower. Ah! Yeah, I really have lost the Tower. Anyway. Good morning and Happy New Year. Okay, I've just lost where I was going with that. That's why we have the Tower, to break apart these old values, because it's like this 10 of Cups is sitting there waiting for you. In fact, look, we've got the water underneath this Tower that's breaking apart. Cups are water. So the Tower's there, it's breaking apart. And, no, sorry, I'm still laughing at myself, so just give me a second. The water is there all along. And the water brings you that sense of fulfillment. But again, the head is like, I don't know if I can trust this. So the head is still wanting to cling to some of these old values. But you've already decided that through the Tower, they are going to go away. Okay? You no longer need to hold them. Okay, I better end this reading before I drop any more cards. But Libra, thank you so much for joining me, and I'd love to ask you to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Really encourage you to check out the New Year's readings. These are really fun and amazing readings. They've been so helpful, not just to me, but to those that I've done readings for already. So they help you start your year right, and I don't know what better gift you could give yourself. I'll look forward to seeing you next time. If you're curious about the readings, there's a link in the description below. Have a good one, Libra.